Okay, so we're just going to start coming down to the floor. And if you take your right foot forward and then bring your left heel in towards your groin, and then we're going to just lift our arms up towards the ceiling. And then as you exhale, bring your right hand towards your foot as you lean over with your left arm. So it's just stretching through the side of the body. And then as you're here, just try and focus your breath. So taking a deep breath in, and we open the shoulder. And then as you exhale, just see if you can stretch through a little further. Okay, and just do one more breath. So deep breath in to lift, open through the top shoulder. And then as you exhale, just try and come a little further towards the big toe. So you should feel a nice stretch through the side of the body there. And then when you're ready, we'll change sides. So taking the left foot forward this time. And then if you flex the ankle and bring your right heel in towards your groin. And then before we stretch, we always find space. So bring your arms up to the ceiling. And then when you're ready to exhale, we tip over, reaching towards the big toe. And again, try and keep that right shoulder open. And then just try and focus again to your breath. So we inhale to lift. And then exhale to release through. And then when you're ready, come up. We'll do some cat and cow poses just to mobilise the spine. So when you're ready, just come into horse stance. That's where your hands are underneath your shoulders. Draw your navel into spine and eyes just looking down at the floor. Knees under hips and then press your toes down into the mat. That's it. So we'll start off with cat stretch. So lifting upper back towards the ceiling, tucking your chin in. And then release down to the other side. So we're here, we're just mobilising the spine. So again, thinking about breath. So exhale as we lift, tucking the chin in, and then inhale as you reverse it. And again, just taking that a few more times. So really contracting through the abs here, bringing your chin into chest, and then lifting up to reverse. And then as you're here, just find neutral spine. So that's where we pull navel into spine, so our weight is directly through the centre. So we're just focus on working into the core here. So with your right arm, reach your right arm forward as you then take your left foot back and press through the heel with the left foot. And then when you're ready, lift the left leg high. And then from here, we're just going to bring the knee to elbow and then extend as you inhale. So deep breath in. And then as you bring your knee in to elbow, we exhale. We'll just do that a few times so we get a little more activation through the core. Good, and then just one more time, so knee into elbow. On your last one, take a deep breath and reach a little further. And then lower hand back down to the floor. We'll try that again on the other side. So this time taking the left arm and the right leg. So reaching long thumb towards the ceiling and then press your weight through the back heel. And again, we want to find balance from the core. So draw navel into spine. And then when you're ready, bring an elbow towards knee, squeezing through the abdominals, and then reaching forward as you take a breath in. Good. And keep going a few more times. Just two more, so bring in all the way in, elbow touches knee. And then on your last one, just reach a little further and then drop in hand back down to the floor. So from here, we're going to come into our first downward facing dog. So to set up for your downward facing dog, we sit back into child's pose. So from here, tuck in your big toes touch and knees apart. Now bring your hands towards the top of the mat. And then when you're ready, tuck in your toes under and then lift into downward facing dog. So it's a really nice hamstring stretch. So if it feels good, just stay in here and pedal through the feet. And then in your downward dog, just hold here. So your feet want to be hip distance apart, and then draw your navel in and then pull your shoulders apart so we find space through the shoulders, and ground your hands fully to the floor. And again, just pedal the feet to see whether you can lower your heels a little further. And then just hold here. One more deep breath in, and then exhale and release the heels a little further. Now from here, we're going to bend both of the knees and step the right foot forward inside of the hands. So we come to lunge, and just check here, knee stays above ankle. Step in and we come to forward fold. And then bending the knees, inhale and extend your mountain. So holding your hands to the top, and then we come down into forward fold, so hands to floor. From here, step your right foot back into lunge. That's it. And then step into plank. So we hold the plank, draw navel into spine. First time through, lower knees, untuck the toes, and then we come all the way to the floor to crocodile. Baby cobra. So then we lift the chest, pull your shoulders away from your ears and squeeze your glutes. Then tuck your toes behind and then push back for downward facing dog. Bend the knees, step the right foot forward. And then we stepped into forward fold. So we'll run through that sun salutation a few more times. So extended mountain, arms rise, and then exhale to forward fold. We step the left foot back into plank, and then just lower your hips a little deeper there, and just checking knee stays above ankle. Step both feet now, so we come into high plank. So option here, you can do what we did before, where knees, chest and chin, or from here, we lowered down, keeping the knees away from the floor, and then we tuck the toes and lift into an upward facing dog. So we open the chest, and then exhale as you push back to downward facing dog. Bend the knees, step the left foot forward inside of the hands, and let's meet in forward fold again. So we'll just try that 2 more times. So just stay here in forward fold. And thinking about breath, so each movement through yoga we add breath. So inhale as you lift to extended mountain. Exhale to forward fold, hands to floor. Step right foot back into lunge. And then we meet in high plank. Knees or toes lower down slowly for crocodile, keeping the elbows in. And then inhale as you lift, upward facing dog. Tuck the toes, pushing back, down dog. Bend the knees, step the right foot forward. And step together, forward fold. 1 more time through, so thinking about breath. Inhale as you lift. Exhale, forward fold. Step left foot back. And step to high plank, and then lowering down to crocodile. Exhale to lower, and then inhale as you lift for upward facing dog. Push back for down dog. So just stay in here again, just find your down dog. So pedal the feet again. We're going to move into warrior 1. So from here, bend your knees, step your right foot forward inside of your hands. Now warrior 1, we plant the back heel down for warrior 1. Good. And then inhale your arms for warrior 1 pose. And then just relax your shoulders, find space through the shoulders, and then deepen through into this front knee. So in your warrior 1 position, both of your hips should be looking forward. And then just relax your shoulders and just take a few breaths here in warrior 1. Thinking about pressing, grounding through the feet. We're going to bring both of the hands through to the top of the mat and step back to downward facing dog. Again, just pedal the feet through. Find a little more space through the back of the legs. And then we come back into warrior 1 on the other side. So step the left foot forward inside of the hands. Checking that knee stays above ankle. And then place your right heel down into warrior 1. When you breathe in, arms lift. As you exhale, we lower down a little further. Again, just try and pull your shoulders back to find space through the shoulders. Taking a few breaths here. Deep breath in. And then as you exhale, just see deeper through. Hands to the floor, step back, downward facing dog. Let's move through to plank. So bring your weight forward into plank, knees or toes, and we lower to crocodile. And then lift into upward facing dog. Exhale, down dog. So from here, we're going to come into warrior two position. So step the right foot forward this time. And then lower the back heel down. Lifting the arms. So we'll go warrior one first and then move into warrior two. So for warrior two pose, turn the hips to the wall and then press down with your arms just in line with your shoulders. So palms are facing down. Good. And then from warrior one here, we want to tuck the tailbone under and then open through the chest, and then just again focus your breath. So inhale as you lift your chest. Exhale as you lower down further to warrior two. And then taking the hands to the top of the mat. Square hips, lifting the back heel, step back into downward facing dog. And let's come forward to plank. Lower to crocodile. And then inhale, lift to upward dog. And then exhale to down dog. So we'll do the same again on the other side. So when you're ready, we bend in the knees, step the left foot forward to warrior one. Right heel lands. Inhale to lift for warrior one. And then for warrior two, we turn to warrior two. So hips want to be turned, both looking towards the wall. And then again, thinking about breath, so inhale to lift and then exhale to lower deeper into the pose. And then we've taken both hands forward, square the hips, and then step back for one more time, coming through to plank, slowly taking your time. Exhale as you lower down into crocodile, inhale as you lift, upward facing dog, and then downward facing dog. So we'll just run through a few balance poses. So when you're ready, step your feet to the top of the mat, forward fold, and then inhale and stay here. Okay, so for balanced poses, we're going to start off keeping the right foot into the floor. Now ground the foot. Now with the left leg, take hold of the foot and either place to your calf or to your inner thigh. And we want the hips to be open. So as you're here in tree, pull the left knee back, ground the standing foot, and then just bringing your hands to your heart and just relax your breath. Focus your eyes on a point to the floor and just hold here. In tree pose, you can try different arm poses, so we can take arms above the head. But as you're here, just try and really stay grounded in that right foot. And then when you're ready, bring your hands to heart. Release the foot. And then we'll just try the same again on the other side. So left foot grounded into the floor, taking hold of the right foot this time. Never push your foot into the knee on the tree pose. So we want to either place to your calf or to inner thigh. And then we open the knee, ground the foot, and then bring in hands to heart, shoulders back and down. So always thinking about good posture. And again, you can then experiment with your arms. Bringing hands back to your heart, and then release down both feet to the mat. Okay, so if we come down to the floor now, just do some stretches. So before we go there, we're just extended mountain. So inhale and lift your arms above the head, and then come back down into forward fold position. Step back, coming into downward dog. And then again, just pedal the feet through here just to stretch off the hamstrings. So we're coming into pigeon pose. So for pigeon pose, if you lift your right leg high into a 3-leg dog, and then we're going to bring the right knee through to the top of the mat. So for pigeon pose, there are lots of different options. So we can modify the pigeon pose by taking knees to 90-90, or if it feels good, take the back leg straight, lift through the chest, so toes are down at the back, lift the chest, and then when you're ready again to exhale, we lower the head down to the mat, and it's a really nice stretch through into the glutes. So just relax here, keep breathing, deepen the breath. And then when we come back up to taking the hands back to the mat, I'm going to step back, coming into downward dog again. And we'll do the same again on the other side. So lifting the left leg high for 3-leg dog, and then bring the left knee through to the top of the mat. Extending the back leg straight, toes down at the back, and then before we stretch, we lift the chest to find space, and then taking hands to the floor, drop head down to the mat. And again, just focus your breath here, try and release through. So where you should be feeling the stretches in through into the glutes. And then when you're ready, come back up to your hands. We'll stretch off through the hamstrings, so sit back to sit bones and bring both feet to the top of the mat. So lots of different options here again. If you need to, never force the stretch, so if you need to, just keep a micro bend in the knees if that's what you need. So toes towards the ceiling, going to take a breath in, so we find space again, lift through the chest, and then when you're ready to exhale, just tip forward, finding stretching through the lower back, and then release the hands. And then just let your head relax, bringing your chest towards your knees. And again, just if it feels good, just close your eyes and then just relax further into the stretch. And then when you're ready to come up, slowly lifting up, lifting the head last. And we do a counter pose for what we stretch the back of the body. We just want to do a counter pose. So we'll finish off in bridge positions. That's where if you're laying down onto your backs, for bridge position, so shoulders are into the floor, you should just be able to feel where your ankles are, knees in line with your hips. And then we lift up into bridge position, clasping the hands behind, and then lift up, opening through the chest, and squeezing through the glutes. And again, just holding this pose for 2 or 3 breaths. Deep breath in as you open the chest and just keeping the hips nice and high. One more breath in to lift, and then when you're ready to exhale, lower the hips down to the floor. And then in your own time, gradually make your way back into a seated position. Taking a breath in, arms lifting above the head. Exhale, hands to your heart. Namaste. Namaste.